It is the Louie Bellina Show. Lunchtime. Thanks to Rudy's Barbecue. Louie Bellina Show, lunchtime. I'm joined inside the Charles Schwab studio by Tony Catalina. He's with Gig'em 247. And we, go maroon and white primarily. I mean, there's other things going on in the world, like World Cup. Tony's been traveling the country so far, going to all the matches. What's up, dude?
What's going on?
Have you been watching World Cup? I don't know where you are with that.
I actually have been. I was texting a couple of buddies, and I'm like, I don't think I've ever watched more soccer in my life in the last, few days, where at the least it's been on in the background, And I enjoy that. I'm a guy who likes live sports, so give me something I can have in the background while I'm working. It's been great.
Is it due to the Red Sox being so awful they're unwatchable? Or is there something else that's driven you to the World Cup?
I was ripping roaring when this baseball season started. Now it's like the flame is dulled. Now I watch it because I'm loyal, but it's a tough watch these days. It's tough.
Okay, I'm an Astros Cubs fan, and having the Cubs go through two different 10-game losing streaks, one that was longer than 10, but the Cubs playing so far beneath themselves. Astros are in the middle of a lost season. I can relate.
Yeah, fair.
I can absolutely relate.
You know what makes it even hurt more too is I was super excited for him. Braden Montgomery doing his thing. It took a trade from the Red Sox to get him to the White Sox to make that move. And then you look at a guy like Kyle Harrison, who's having a career year, Barry Harrison's brother, and we traded him as well. And it's like, okay, we're doing terrible, and everyone around us is doing great.
So when are the Red Sox going to have a purge? Clean out the front office, clean out everything.
It might be at the break. I mean, they got the whole minor league system running the show right now. Anyway, they've already shipped out all the coaches. Now they start selling assets. I mean, what'd you have before? I mean, they've already gotten rid of Rafael Devers. What's going to stop them from getting rid of other pieces? So,
well, remember, I'm not even talking about players. It's a complete rebuild from the top, actually.
For sure. But the problem is, I think at the top, just like every team I root for, aka the Cowboys, it all starts at the ownership level, where there's some disdain there and there's some fire the staff, but it just, I think they're comfortable making, and you're printing money with the Red Sox, right? You're printing money. You're a big market team that's kind of moving like a small market team, and you can save your pennies, for another day, but it's tough sled right now.
When you have a problem in ownership, and this is almost like a duh, right?
Yeah.
They're never going to get fired. So
nope.
That's like the owner screws up the draft, so they fire the caterer.
Yeah, someone's got to fall on the sword, right?
It's not going to be the one that actually made the decision when they own it, but okay. All right. Hey, thoughts and prayers. You have a long summer ahead.
Yes, we do.
Do you realize, though, we're midway through June?
I have. I looked up this morning. I'm like, man, we're right there. This is, once baseball starts wrapping up and then you start looking up and the weeks kind of roll by a little slower, which I'm okay with, right? It's okay to take a little slower pace than, in season, but no, you're right. I mean, before we blink, it'll be July 1st. It'll be 4th of July. They'll zoom past, and next thing you know, we're going to be in Tampa at the SEC Media Day.
That's what I was going to say, because they're actually a month from this week.
Yeah,
a month.
It's insane. Absolutely insane.
It's closer than you think.
It is right there.
Okay. Just making sure you're getting ready, man.
Yeah, you gave me a little anxiety there, but it's all right.
You think you were missing something, that you were late for something?
Yeah. Well, you just got to make sure all your travels and your ducks are in a row and your content planned, and make sure that, hey, I'm flying in the right hotel. I mean, into the right airport, and I get the right hotel, right? So now it's starting to book travel and stuff. So this is the time to get the fall ready to go. So it's definitely on my mind.
I know for me, the first 2 months of the summer is all about projects and stuff. And all of a sudden I looked up and kind of went,
yeah.
June is already halfway done? A quarter of what I call my summer is already gone?
Yeah.
What happened? How did I miss this?
It blanked and it was gone. I mean, as soon as Memorial Day hit, it felt like it's been the time zooms by when you're having fun, right? So.
Yeah, that's actually the correct way I look at it too. It's actually been a fun run. The World Cup has been really fun.
It has been.
The World Cup's been Team USA, getting off to the start they've gotten off to. And
yeah.
I don't know. Aggie football has a hard time resting. When they have a Mike Elko as the head coach and they're building and they're doing what they're doing in recruiting currently, which they're putting together a class. Something I've noticed on the local level is how much attention it's gotten on the national level.
Yeah.
And that means you haven't taken a break from that either.
No, they have not. I mean, like you said, we talked about it last week, going on these camps. Every coach is there. Every coach is accounted for. They're not just relaxing. They're not just sitting back. They're talking to players. They're doing what they can. They're trying to stay in the ear and make sure that, they cross their T's and dot their I's at every level. I don't think there's any type of – they may get a week or two. They may get a week or two at some point in time. But, the players are back in town, right? There's workouts going on. There's camps that just wrapped up. There is no real rest for the wicked right now.
No, I was flipping through the Twitter X timeline, and someone, I had no idea who, was raving about A&M's, the top end of their recruiting class. So I have to click his name and then click down, and he's the ESPN recruiting guy.
Yes.
And he was just, the top 5 players in A&M's number 1 ranked recruiting class are elite talent. Is anyone in the country, and this was his question, is anyone in the country recruiting better than the Aggies right now?
Probably not.
And that's what I mean. Just everyone, every level, from local, national, regional, has to pay attention to Aggie football. And the top 5 names, if in case you're wondering, Kennedy Brown, offensive tackle. Mark Matthews, offensive tackle. Zyron Forstall, defensive end. And the first 3 are line of scrimmage. I almost want to cry because that's football 101, right?
Right.
And then, of course, you got the safety, Cameron Dorsey, and then the cornerback, Raylan Henry.
Yeah.
And again, top 5 are elite in the country. Just a random, he's going over, looking at things, and he looks at the top 5 at A&M, who's the number 1 class, and you get the Tour Bush wow from them.
Yeah, they're not just, we had talked about this. Elko's plan, whether it be high school recruiting or the transfer portal, is so purposeful and it's so directed exactly how they want it to go. They're in the mix for a ton of high-level guys, but the team, it's the real scout and talent evaluation that puts them over the top, right? Because they're going to take their swings at the dudes. They're going to dip their toe in it, but they're going to find the right quality guys. And when the talent and evaluation match up, you end up with a really, really good quality class. And I think through his first 1.5, right? Because when he came in last year was his first full cycle. This year will be his second full cycle. They've done a really good job of it, whether it be transfer or high school. So, it's just super impressive to see them consistently at the top, and right now, quite literally sitting at the top.
I don't know if I have the right attitude or philosophy or understanding, and I've always had this, but I think the NIL's made this truer. Yeah, truer. When it comes to recruiting, I've had people talk about the depth of the class, but truly in the SEC, I don't know if the depth of the class matters one bit. With the NIL portal, I don't know if the depth of the class matters one bit. I think you could rank recruiting classes based on the first 10 in a class.
Sure. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And it's what's interesting too, I saw somebody talking about this the other day, is depending on where you are geographically or historically, how you handle recruiting might differ, right? You look at a team like Indiana, who's been historically a doormat. They needed to go out there and attack the transfer portal, be aggressive financially, get ready-made players. A team like Texas and the other people in this state, they have such a strong bet in the Lone Star State that high school recruiting still has to be a pillar of what they do, right? Not every program can say that. There's teams all over the Northeast that are going to struggle to compete with these Southern squads because that high school recruiting isn't as rich, that talent pool isn't as rich. So A&M's got a difficult balance where it's do you allocate money and resources to a 17-year-old kid who may not be able to help us for a year or two?
No. That's dead cap space.
Right.
I'm going to use NFL terms. You can't take a kid as your 15th recruit who's going to be helping you in year 3.
Sure.
That money has to help you. If you are a college football playoff program, you can't project a kid in year 3.
It's tough, but you look at a guy, right, and not to anybody out, but this is kind of what it is. They had Lamont Rogers last year. He's going to battle for a job this year, and I'm not going to say he's not going to get it, but they just brought in some veteran SEC players to play those spots. So if he goes 2 years without playing, that was a high 5-star recruit. Then you got a guy like Brandon Arrington who came in this class, looks freakish athletically, looks like a guy who can really help you, but they're loaded at cornerback. So what does it look like if he's not playing the snaps in year 1? So it's a really delicate balance where you find an Anto Sakas, you find an Ray Coney, he has to come in, but also you get these 5-star guys, and you kind of have to promise them the moon and the stars to get here.
Well, when you bring in 5-star portal players, they're not coming to compete.
No. It's never going to happen, right? That's the thing. And so that's why some people ask me, I had this conversation, they're like, oh, do you think Tyree Adams is going to play? Do you think Wilcom Formby is going to play? I'm like, those guys, they wouldn't come here if they weren't going to play, in my opinion, right? That's not me speaking from an educated place or a place of knowledge. I'm saying, you don't bring
You're talking about how it works.
Correct. You're not bringing in these top talented guys to come and sit on the bench, right? Like the kid from Alabama is not coming here to be the backup. The kid from, LSU, who's the left tackle, ain't coming here to sit on the bench.
If they they're going to play, and let's say they can't get it done. Yeah, people lose their jobs, but their jobs. They lose their jobs.
It's their job to lose, right? They were brought in with the intention to start. If you get organically beat out, and I think the film and the practices and the reps will bear that to be true or false. The tape doesn't lie. But they've been brought in with a goal and a plan in mind. And if you're going to bring guys like that in to not play them, it's never going to work out.
But that's not where they're being brought in. So that's the circle of it.
100%.
Coaches don't go here. Here's $2 million. You're the third highest paid offensive lineman in the portal class, and here's an opportunity to compete. Right. That's not the pitch.
Yeah, and a redshirt freshman's going to take your job in your final year of collegiate ball. It's not going to happen.
It's not the pitch.
It's never going to happen. And so that's the delicate balance between, you said it, they brought the top three guys are all in the trenches. Hopefully you get something out of them at a year one, but if you don't,
well, these offensive linemen that A&M brought in, the 4 former stars in that season, how many years do they have left? These two in the trenches they're bringing in, are they the ready-made replacement starting in year one next year, which sounds insane, but that's modern football.
Yeah, right. You're absolutely right. I mean, like, you look, Trevon Baugh is a senior, Wilkin Formby, so I believe 3 of them, and Tyree Adams are all seniors.
So they're one-year rentals.
One and done.
So for Lamont, the 2 incoming and other, there's openings next year.
Correct.
And that's how you don't lose them automatically.
Exactly. And I know everybody's talking about Cohen Eccles from LSU, the guard. I don't think it's a guarantee that he starts. I think there's guys like Blake Ivy who have been here, who are entering year 3, redshirt sophomore, who have a chance to win that job. Cohen Eccles, he's a sophomore, though, right? So, like, if he loses his job this year or doesn't win it coming over the portal, like, that's not like a huge deal, right?
Depending on what he was sold, though. Correct. You see, it just depends on what he was told, when he was paid.
Absolutely.
Equals what you're saying.
Absolutely. And then you got, TJ Searcy came over last year. Now he looks like he's going to be one of the guys, right? You pair him with Anto Saka. You got Ryan Henderson, who's a pass rush specialist at San Diego State. He can be that guy to kind of bring that production. But Marco Jones is going to have an absolute role on this team, and he's probably going to start.
First crack kind of thing.
Right. He has. I mean, the way he's built, the way he played, I know he had 2.5 sacks last year in limited reps, but super impressive. It looks like he's taking this offseason like super, super seriously. That's kind of the natural progression I think they want to see, where a guy comes in, has a little bit of an impact in freshman year, and then boom, sophomore year, they're going to look at him as somebody who's a keystone piece of that defense or offense.
First crack. Also, within the D-line, the number of names for the opportunity and snaps are pretty straightforward, too.
Yeah. I mean, if you're looking at this year, they brought in some veteran pieces, especially in the interior. Like, DJ Hicks is going to be the guy, right? DJ Hicks can be in the middle. CJ Mims from North Carolina is going to be that guy there, too. You got a Brandon Swain from Colorado. And then, you just look at other pieces that are going to come in there. Landon Rink is going to be another one of those freshmen who come up and play as sophomore. And he's going to be a big part of it as well. So they do have a good mix of homemade talent, guys that come in and plug and play. And I think that's what Elko does really well is, like, he covers his tracks, right? We feel confident in our high school recruiting, but if it's not ready now, we still got to be ready to play ball. And I think they've done that at pretty much every position.
Raggy Football Universe, I'll throw you things because I do my prep for the season by reading everything consensus, things I believe in, things I don't, throw away data I know is garbage, etc. I'm a big Dave Bartu college football matrix fan, and he had never done this before in the offseason. He has a grade on every coach in D1. I don't know if you know that. He has a grade on every coach. And normally you pay, like athletic departments pay him to give for his analytics and stuff. That's kind of what he does. He's been releasing like top 10 in each league at each position. Did you know that A&M had the number 1 graded wide receivers coach last year?
I didn't, but I know he's the OC now.
Do you know that A&M now has the number 2 defensive line coach in the SEC? Elijah Robinson.
Yeah, he came over from Syracuse. Yeah.
A&M has some really something I saw that was fun. A&M, according to SEC Mike, has the number 2 wide receiving core.
Yeah, I believe
heading into the season. Texas has Cam Coleman and Wingo.
Yeah.
And they're like 2 of the top 10 to top 12 wide receivers entering the season. Sure. So that's pretty tough to beat.
Sure.
But A&M is, you agree, disagree. A&M, number 2 wide receiving core in the whole league.
Emphatically agree. Emphatically, I argue, and this has nothing to do with KC, Concepcion, or anything they did last year because it was super impressive. I just think the way they built it out with the addition of Isaiah Horton, they're more well-rounded to be more complete unit this year, right? Because Mario Craver and KC kind of did the same thing, right? They're catch the ball in space, get out and go and get some yak. Isaiah Horton's going to be like a 50-50 ball over the middle in the red zone, in the in the end zone. He's going to go and make a play. They haven't had an ex-receiver since like Noah Thomas, and he's better than Noah Thomas in that sense, I think, in a lot of senses. But then you also add in, if Ashton Bethel-Roman is healthy and is somebody who really can help and stay healthy. He's a junior he's a third-year guy who's a burner. Aaron Gregory, they got pieces. Terry Bussey, this is a complete deep room that if somebody goes down, they feel like they can fit in and play well.
Well, in the comparison of the wide receiving core from this year to itself last year, if Horton might not be better than Concepcion in the end, because that's a first-round wide receiver NFL. But Horton can fit what they need more than Concepcion did last year.
Right.
If Craver is healthy, he's automatically better than himself because Craver was an All-American till he was injured the whole last month last year.
Yeah.
So he's a better version of himself.
Absolutely.
Ashton Bethel-Roman broke out in the last month. He just has to pick up where he left off. He's a better version of himself.
Right.
And then you have more depth after the top three than you did a year ago. Therefore, it's easy to see why it's a better wide receiving core without picking on any one person.
No, absolutely. I mean, Terry Bussey's a 5-star talent. And now they got guys behind him like Aaron Gregory and Madden Williams. And, there's other guys that have just stepped up, especially this spring and preseason, that make you feel really confident that they can play early. He's got to be on his best version to be essentially wide receiver 4 at this point, right? Because there's that much competition. Now, Isaiah Horton doesn't have to be KC Concepcion. He doesn't even have to be the same talent. Right?
Horton just has to fill his role. Be the 50, like you said, 50-50 and red zone guy. Yeah. That alone right there is what it does to the A&M offense like a year ago that maybe they didn't have, or maybe they did, but Marcel didn't believe in. But if he believes in Horton, it still changes everything with the same impact.
Yeah.
Kind of, you know how this goes, right?
I had a conversation with Isaiah Horton when I was doing the Marcel Reed feature, and he said something great to me. He said, it kind of like, as an A&M fan, it was like really, like, if you're an A&M fan, this is something you really want to hear. He was like, I was watching the Miami playoff game, and all I could find myself saying was like, I could have helped. I could have won, right? There was things, in the end zone that they came up short, or they couldn't get a ball in the back end zone. He wouldn't throw it high enough. They didn't have a receiver that can go get it. And he said, I watched the whole game thinking like, we would have won if I was here.
That's you want to hear that confidence.
You want to hear that. Like, that's a guy who can.
You also want a guy that's already using kind of
right,
when you weren't even here.
And
I don't want that.
I don't think. I mean, people. It's talked about how like Marcel Reed and Isaiah Horton are legitimate friends for a very long time. For them to come together, that connection didn't have to be curated. It was there, right? And so he was looking at a lens of like, I could help my friend. I could help my brother out here. And now he has a chance to actually do that and be something they haven't had at that X receiver spot for quite some time.
That's from the yes, please category. When we return, more with Tony Catalina of the Austin. Tony Catalina of Gig'em 247. I got it.
I know I'm teasing you.
No, dude, I've done that twice.
Yeah.
And you know what? Normally I do that twice in a break, let alone an hour. So I feel so like I got so much win already in this category. Tony Catalina, Louie Bellina inside the Charles Schwab studio on a Wednesday. In uncertain times, Charles Schwab remains invested in their clients, and that would be you if you make the choice, by offering personalized guidance and clarity. And how can it be personalized? Because you're Charles Schwab. You're not thinking personal. You're thinking New York and L.A. Well, with Charles Schwab, we got Mark Stim, and he's right here in College Station. Eat here, sleep here, shop here. He goes to the games too. So you can walk into the office, you could sit down, shake a hand, look them in the eye. That's personalized. Go get answers to your questions. Heck, just go learn more at schwab.com/College Station. It's the Louie Bellina Show, Wednesday on the Zone.
This is Bryan College Station's only all-sports station, The Zone. 1150 AM and 93.7 FM.
Tony and I, even when the timeouts are rolling, we're sitting here still talking sports. That's the nature of loving what you do. 979-693-1150. You recognize that number because, sure, you could text and light up the Texas Mobile and Loop Express inbox. Hurry up, 1240 Astros baseball, thanks to Kelly Burt Dozer. And you could call. I know it seems so strange. Call, yet we can talk. People remember when phones weren't supercomputers and you put it up to your ear and you'd be like, hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. You could talk on them too. And that's the D4 Land Services hotline number. A lot of times when it's time to win stuff, you win on the D4 Land Services hotline. If you ever need to get your land fixed up, your land cleared, your land excavated, it's in the title, D4 Land Services, and go to their website. Find out everything they do, like pond construction, forestry mulching. They do custom metal buildings from the ground up. Go to d4landservices.com. d4landservices.com. Tony, did I miss it? Do we have ice cream?
We have ice cream.
Ooh, you make me nervous. I didn't see it.
So just know, that every week I'm gonna do my ice cream research. I didn't tweet it out, and the reason why I didn't tweet it out is because I realized I ate it before I actually took a photo of it. So I ate.
Wait a minute. What?
Yeah. So I ate that. It was Rocky Road. I went with Rocky Road this week, which is a classic. I know it's. I don't know if it's the same thing as vanilla and chocolate, is the sense that every brand and every company has one, but I feel like every company and every brand has one, right? Like
Rocky Road. That's
Road.
old school. It's kind of like vanilla and chocolate.
Yes.
Everyone has a Rocky Road.
Yep. Rocky Road. And for me, it lived up to the billing. I've told you this before. I don't love like nuts like in my ice cream. You know what I mean? I'm not I don't like crunch. I'm actually a guy who doesn't really like sprinkles either, right? Like I just want an ice cream cone.
So you hate sundaes?
I like chocolate dip, cherry dip.
You hate sundaes?
Yeah, I'm not a huge. Yeah, I don't like banana splits. You know, so I'm not looking for that. I don't want all the fruit. I don't want all the toppings. I don't
know what to say.
I'm a purist, right? I told you I like vanilla ice cream, and I like cheese pizza, and I like simple ice cream that's done well. But Rocky Road, it did everything for me that I needed to do, minus the nuts, right? So if you get rid of that, I just want to pull up my score because I don't want to.
Do you have like 2 grades? One is with nuts, one's without? I mean,
yeah, the first bite with no nuts in it was. But to be honest, it's funny because you say that, and it's actually true though, because when you get the chocolate with the marshmallow bite in it, it was like everything I was looking for. And then you get the nut, and I'm just like, I don't, for me. So with that being said, it cracked my top 5.
Oh.
It cracked my top 5. It actually tied with Cookie Two-Step at 4.2. So at 1,
that is good.
It is good. So I would get it again.
You loved Cookie Two-Step.
Cookie Two-Step was great. Groom's Cake 4.5 at 1, Black Raspberry Fudge 4.4, Oatmeal Cream Pie at 4.3, and then Rocky Road and Cookie Two-Step at 4.2 kind of rounds up the top 5 for me right now.
All right, you got to send me the list.
We're at 11 now.
We're going to create. I got it.
Because everyone's like chomping at the bit to see this.
Because I'm going to share the top 10 every Wednesday now.
Yeah.
We have to update people.
We're at 11.
I got people calling me at home. I got people knocking on my door. Okay.
I want to go, and if anybody in the text wants to send any type of recommendations, I want to go kind of crazy with this next one.
Oh, you want to try something? I want to try something outside
different.
The box.
Yes, like I think one of the polarizing ones that I've done was the banana fudge one, where it's really divisive, where people are like, this is great, and some people are like, yuck, I don't like the fake banana flavor. But for me, it was like exactly, I love that. It was
great.
what
you wanted.
Yeah, and I think even my Groom's Cake take is pretty controversial because I don't know if many people have that at like number 1, but that has yet to be knocked up. I can't believe that I've tried 11 different flavors, and the first one is still number 1. I can't believe that.
And you did go back and try it again, right?
I did.
So that's the thing that I said after a while is you need to make sure it's as good as you remember.
Yeah.
So Tony tried it again, and it was reaffirmed.
I mean, we're like 2.5 months into this. And I'm still holding strong with the one that started this segment is still number 1. That's crazy to me.
Anybody want to text? We got like 4 or 5 minutes left here. If you want to text some Bluebell recommendations for Tony, feel free. Help out. 979-693-1150. 979-693-1150. I do want to make an announcement. I think it's safe to make it now. I do not work Fridays in June and July. I've been doing this. I don't keep track of stuff. I'm really bad at that. I think I've been doing it for like a decade. Maybe it's 5 years, maybe it's 15. We'll just go in the middle. But I think I've been doing it for like a decade. And Caleb, oh, God help us all. Caleb's been taking over June. He has one of the hardest last names in the world. You don't know if it's Cajun. You don't know if it's German. No one knows how to spell it. But Caleb has been doing Fridays in June. And Tony, who's going to do Fridays in July?
I think it's a guy named Tony Catalina.
Yeah, Tony Catalina. He's works for the radio. He's got that cowboy hat last name. But Tony Catalina of Gig 'em 247 will be doing Fridays in July. Now, the first Friday, to be clear, is July 3rd. Ain't nobody going to be here. I mean, it's going to be a best of presentation, a week that was presentation on July 3rd. Some summers, no one's hosted. I did only week. It's varied over the years. But this summer, we got people. I'm like, hey, they want to have fun. That's all I ask. So starting, I guess, with the second Friday, because on July 3rd, July 4th weekend, shoot fireworks, grill hot dogs and burgers, have a drink, man, enjoy life, be with the family, shoot fireworks, like I said. So Tony will take over. Tony is going to take over. Yeah, I know what calendar dates are. Tony will take over the other 4 Fridays in July.
I'm excited. I mean, this is, this is something I've always wanted to do. I told you, and you know this, even when I got like vacations or I got stuff going on, I always try to find time to come in here and just talk ball.
Which I appreciate so much.
As much as I love writing and I love, telling stories, I love talking ball. Like, I love interacting with people. Like, the podcast video side of thing, radio is where I kind of started, and I've always been like my first love in sports. So being able to come in here and take over for a day and kind of put my little touch on the show for a month, I think that's gonna be really fun and really exciting.
And it was funny too. I had no idea what I was gonna do in July. That was me thinking way too hard, ahead for me. And one Wednesday, Tony just said, "Hey, if you ever need anybody to host a show or whatever, I've always been. It's a dream. Seriously, he's like, it's a dream. It's something I've always thought about." And I went, "Well, okay then. Have I got an idea for you, man?"
It's one of those things where you go, hey, let me just put my name in the hat, and then it actually lands. I'm like, okay, this is meant to be. I'm glad I brought it up.
Oh, you hit the horseshoe around the ring. So Fridays in July, Tony Catalina will take over, and I have no idea what he's planning. Whenever these people like Caleb Rapoli, well, whatever it is. Anyway, and then Tony take over the Fridays, I tell them, you do what you want. You're hosting the Louie Bellina Show, but don't do the Louie Bellina Show. Just have fun. I have learned something. If you have fun, people will have fun with you. And that's it. That's my advice.
That's it. I think
just go have fun.
A lot of sports, right? Obviously, a lot of sports, maybe some funky New England takes in there, or, some accents that you're not used to. Hopefully the first time somebody turns on the dial, they're like, who is this? I know this ain't Louie, right? And
that definitely. There's very few people that get mistaken for me or mistake me for them. I have found that out over the years. They're like, nobody's as dumb as him. So.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We shall.
Did you just say challenge accepted or something?
We shall see.
Just have fun with it, dude.
That's it. I'm excited. I think it's going to be great.
People don't mind spending the middle of their day just, maybe learn a thing or two by accident and have a lot of fun and smile and, learn something maroon and white, and they're good.
It's really exciting for me because I'm somebody who, I'm a pool guy, a beach guy, and I got the sports talk radio on. So the idea that somebody could be around here chilling, grilling, relaxing, and I could just be opining on some sports, I think that's a cool thing.
I'm going to give you the Texas version. You said beach and stuff. Farm tractors out in the field.
Hot.
I got more people working than you would care to believe.
Okay.
I've gotten text messages for people that are they're working, lunchtime farms and stuff. So it's not quite as luxurious. I'm sorry, but they're out there. Finally, before I let you go,
sure.
Your Bluebell recommendation. You go for what you want, but Joni in College Station, she's a huge Packers fan, by the way. Huge. Says Tin Roof ice cream. Vanilla ice cream with ripples of fudge and chocolate-covered peanuts. You hate nuts in your ice cream, though?
I do, but I like chocolate ripple, and I did see that at the store, and I paused between that and the Rocky Road, so maybe that's got a real chance to be next.
Well, there's a recommendation to go for Tin Roof.
I appreciate.
So, dude, what's the plans for the weekend?
Man, so this weekend I'm kind of relaxing. I'll have some stuff.
World Cup.
World Cup. What's really great about this time of year is I can actually have like organic weekends again. I mean, during the season when it's football, baseball, basketball, and they kind of intertwine, I literally get one day off a week, and it's probably a Thursday. So now that we're in that period, I can set my week up where I can work a true Monday through Friday, catch some breaking news on Saturday and Sunday, but for the most part, I try to be a civilian.
You get to have a life.
That's it. Imagine.
I'll talk to you next Wednesday.
Absolutely.
Be awesome. Go have some ice cream.
That will do.
Tony Catalina of Gig'em 247 Wednesdays. But also, come July, every Friday, he's 11 to 1. Whatever. Knock yourself out. Have a good time. I'll be right back. We'll wrap things up because at 12:40, it's Astros baseball thanks to Kelly Bertdozer, the rubber game against the Tigers. This is the Louie Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric, built on faith, family, and community. Wednesday, Louie Bellina Show, check on the zone.